What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Luis Ortiz and Deas. First off, let me apologize for the low volume on my last video regarding this. That's why I'm doing it over. Something was wrong with the mic or whatnot, and I have to counterpunch this because this is something that came from Deas, which is the trainer of Deontay Wilder. Okay. Now, he was talking about Luis Ortiz, and the caption was, Luis Ortiz closed doors in the first Deontay Wilder performance. So you're like, okay, how did he close doors? He goes to explain. Luis Ortiz thought his performance in the first Wilder fight would open doors for him. It didn't. If anything, it closed doors even tighter. No one wanted to fight him at all. Okay. Thankfully for him, Deontay is a man of his word, even though he didn't have to. He's blessing Ortiz with the opportunity because Deontay fights the best fighters. And he goes on to say this. Who else in the heavyweight division has taken on Ortiz, Fury, Brazil, Ortiz again, and agreed to fight Fury again? That being said, Ortiz knows that this is his last shot at glory. So we will see the best Ortiz, but Ortiz will see the best Deontay. Now, those are the words of Deas. Now, first of all, I have to commend Deas for the cleverness. It's clever. You know, if you noticed, this is Deas building up Ortiz, making him this boogeyman, the guy that's avoided, the guy nobody wants to fight, the guy that, everyone runs from him, right? And he's doing that with this, also making Deontay Wilder look even better because he's the only one that wants to fight him. On top of that, making Deontay Wilder like a charity holder, and giving the opportunity for, even though he didn't have to. If you look at the wording Deas uses, he says even though he didn't have to, he's giving Ortiz another chance. Let me counterpunch it because I'm counterpunching it bit by bit. Okay. First of all, he pretty much felt he had to, because the way those deals and negotiations went down for the Joshua offers was BS, and everyone knows that. Everyone knows that his particular promotional company or his managers, they still haven't even informed him on what really happened. And my problem with Ortiz is, why aren't you curious to know what really happened and what not? And why are they still in your banner? Why are they still even on your team? Because if my management couldn't explain to me how a $6 million offer was offered to me and we turned it down, and our rebuttal was, we gotta guarantee Deontay Wilder fight, because that was the thing that was said from Team Ortiz to Eddie Hearn that was making the offer. But what was mysterious is that Luis Ortiz's Instagram, it had, hey, that's a no-go, they're lowballing us, etc., etc. Then that got Eddie Hearn heated. Then he exposed them on IFL TV in an exclusive interview, right? If you guys remember that far back. And then, of course, they started looking elsewhere because of that. Well, when Ortiz found this out, which he was clearly in the dark at that time, which was weird, he was like, me or my trainer didn't hear anything about a $6 million offer. So that means they kept it from him. So going back to this Deontay Wilder, he didn't have to, but he's blessing Ortiz. No, you cursed Ortiz. You limit Ortiz. But then at the same time, your boss made Ortiz appear, just like your manager's trying to do, appear like this boogeyman that nobody wanted to fight, even though he had two offers from two different fighters. Because if you can remember, Dillian White offered him to fight at the O2 Arena back last year. But instead, he wanted to fight on the undercard of Deontay Fury, which was weird. You know what I mean? Which was real weird, because that fight was almost a year ago. You know, and of course, we just talked about the Joshua fight. So I don't see where he gets this from. Oh, nobody wants to fight him due to his performance. But I know what he's doing. Again, he's boosting up Ortiz, making him look a lot dangerous than he really is, you know, and going along with the narrative that nobody wants to fight him, you know, and that's crazy, you know, and to say that nobody wants to fight Ortiz while he's getting offers left and right and he's dodging them and don't know, and his people are either blocking these offers down or, you know, rejecting these offers from him, and then he doesn't know anything. That's a problem. And I do have to question Ortiz, you know, like, dude, what are you really doing? You know what I mean? Or is it are you running your team, or is it your team running you? And because if your team is running you, that means they're being ran by someone else, right? That's why we're here today. That's why we're talking about Luis Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder. Now, to Deontay Wilder, the reason why he's fighting Ortiz again, it's easy. What's the safest way or the safest route to go? Would you ever fight someone like Dillian Whyte that you know nothing of, that you could possibly get beat? It's a risky fight. Matter of fact, the #1 contender, WBC silver, right? Would you rather fight someone like that, or would you rather fight someone that you've already fought and beat? Think about it. When Ortiz tested dirty for for the blood pressure medication, right? Who did he fight? He fought someone that he already beat, Stavern. Stavern was a replacement for Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? So instead of fighting someone that was actually happened the same year, history repeats itself. They're doing the same trend. Joshua wanted to come over. Joshua wanted to have a sit down. And what did he do the same day, or like an hour or 2 hours later? Or was it the next day? It was one of those. He claims to fight two guys back to back. Hey, I'm fighting Ortiz. Then later of the year, then I'm fighting Tyson Fury. And then what's sad about it, none of those fights were even signed at that time, because Tyson Fury confirmed it. I ain't signed anything. And if my signature is on that paper, that means someone is doing it illegally. Okay, so those were just something he said to avoid that fight. So what did he do? Well, I'm fighting Ortiz again. You see the same trend? You fight Stavern again. Now you're fighting Ortiz again. Now you're fighting Fury again, right? And then to fight Fury again, it's like, okay, you're praising him for that, but you guys knew that, or figured that Tyson Fury was going to be an easy night of work. A lot of talk, poor condition, ready to be killed. You know, a cow going to the slaughterhouse. That's what that was going to be, but it didn't happen that way. Almost, but it didn't happen that way. And the significant thing about Tyson Fury, not only did he survive, he outboxed the baddest man on the planet. Okay, 10 out of 2 rounds of that fight. Now, to talk of Dominic Breazeale, he's already been beaten. He was slow, so, no one really gave him a chance. But then that's his whole agenda, right? Take the easy route. And this is the easy route. He could have fought someone else. He could have fought Dillian Whyte right now. He didn't want to fight Dillian Whyte. I wanted to right my wrongs. Okay, well, you know what the wrongs are, or do you really know? I do. I want to right the wrongs. Okay, well, you got help on the first fight. Everyone knows that. So I think that was bothering him because he brings it up too much. You know what I mean? He says that in interviews. Well, they say I had extra time, or Paulie said this and Paulie said that, and Paulie's a bitch. No, because Paulie seen something that didn't make sense. Okay, that's basically what happened. That's what Paulie seen. And Paulie started telling the truth, and you didn't like him talking that knowledge because now he's exposing you in the situation. He was being protected. So here's the thing in hindsight, people. If you think Deontay Wilder was protected in the first fight, wait to the second. If anything happened like the first fight, you're going to see some strange refereeing coming in. Mark my words. I hope not, but then it won't surprise me because I see the fix. He has a money fight, a pay-per-view fight after Ortiz. That's the big money. That's the money that's supposed to sell a lot of tickets or whatnot and do better than the first one did. That's what they're looking forward to do. You think they're going to mess that up by a Cuban that's over the hill? No, because Ortiz might have one good fight in him left, one decent fight. But the reason he took that fight because he knew Ortiz didn't look well in the last 2 fights. So it's easier this time. Well, hey, man, we're going to knock him out easier this time. I mean, didn't he say that about Fury? Which was stupid because if anything, you're supposed to be boosting Fury up to sell your fight for the rematch. But he ain't doing that. He ain't thinking financially or, on a promotional level. He's thinking with an ego because he thinks it's all about him. I'm the reason he's fighting like that. See, that's ego. That's not, he should have said, hey, Fury's just doing just fine. But see here, JD's is doing the opposite. Now he's praising these fighters, okay, like he praised Fury. So he's praising Ortiz because he knows those are opponents. So in essence, he's doing a promotion, which he is co-manager for Deontay Wilder. You see what I mean? So again, it is clever by JD's. I commend him on the promotional strategy, okay? And you guys tell me what you think about this particular comment that JD's made. Of course, please subscribe. Again, sorry for the earlier video. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.